You may not recognize it right away if angels are present in your home, not because the signs are dramatic, but because they appear inside quiet, ordinary moments that most people pass over without a second thought. And perhaps that is the real reason you clicked on this video, because somewhere deep inside your heart you have wondered things you never say out loud. What makes one home feel spiritually different from another? Why some houses feel light and calming the moment you enter, while others feel heavy and restless? Could it be that God fills certain homes with angels even when the people inside are not perfect? And if that is true, how would you ever recognize it? These are the kinds of questions that live quietly in the hearts of many Muslims but are rarely spoken openly. Questions born from curiosity, fear, hope, and longing all at the same time. So this video is not about superstition. It is not about dramatic stories or mysterious claims. It is about something far simpler and far more beautiful. The real and subtle signs mentioned in the Qur'an and in the teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him, that show when God's mercy, protection, and angels are visiting a home. Once you begin to recognize these signs, you may never look at your home, your routine, or your daily life in the same way again. So let us begin gently. Sometimes angels enter a home in moments that do not appear spiritual at all. It can be as simple as someone opening the Qur'an after a long time, reading a few verses before sleeping, or playing a short recitation while preparing for the day. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that angels come close to a place where the Qur'an is recited and devils leave it. This means that every time the words of God are honored inside a home, that home receives a kind of protection and blessing that may not be visible, but is always real. For many people, this is something they do without giving it much thought. But spiritually, it carries great meaning. It means the environment is being watched over. It means your home is not empty. It means God is sending tranquility through his angels even if the day felt heavy or the heart feels distracted. The presence of angels does not make life perfect, but it creates a space where the heart finds fewer barriers to guidance, where sins feel heavier, and where mercy settles more easily. This is the meaning of this sign. When the Qur'an lives inside a home, even in small portions, God places over that home a layer of unseen protection and calm that cannot be bought, forced, or manufactured by human effort. It falls only by his permission, and it stays as long as his words are honored within those walls. And this alone changes more than most people realize. Another moment that quietly invites angels into a home is something most people rarely give real attention to. Praying for someone else, not a long prayer, not an emotional speech, just a sincere second where your heart turns upward and says, God, bless them. Guide them, make things easier for them. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that when a believer makes a private prayer for another person, an angel responds by saying, and the same for you. Pause on that for a moment. How often do we truly pray for others in secret, not in front of them, not to earn praise, not to look kind, but quietly, unseen, from the heart? When an angel repeats your prayer back for you, you do not even need to imagine what that means. Because when God accepts a prayer, the direction of a person's life can shift in ways no plan could ever produce. What many people overlook is that a small, sincere prayer for someone else does not only bless the one you prayed for, it also blesses your own home. In that moment, an angel enters that space, carries your request, and echoes it back on your behalf. And what does that mean for the house itself? It means mercy is being asked for you without you even realizing it. It means your home becomes a place where goodness quietly circulates. It means support is being written for you in the unseen, even on days when you feel that no one on earth notices your effort. Praying for others creates a home where angels witness sincerity, and sincerity invites a kind of protection that no lock, no wall, and no alarm system can ever provide. It is protection that moves through hearts before it ever needs to move through circumstances. There are moments in life when something almost goes wrong, yet somehow it doesn't. A small accident that never happens, a mistake you were about to make, but something inside pulls you back. A decision that could have wounded your future, yet without fully knowing why, you feel restrained from it. Most people call these moments luck or coincidence, but a believer understands something deeper. There is no such thing. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that angels protect a person by the command of Allah, not in dramatic ways that draw attention, not through visible miracles, but through quiet interruptions you only recognize later. Think about how many times you were about to speak in anger and something tightened in your chest and stopped you. Or the day you were rushing and a delay frustrated you at first, only for you to realize later it protected you. Or the time you almost took a step you would have deeply regretted, and a barrier appeared where you never expected one. These moments are not random. They are signs that a home is not spiritually neglected. They are signs that Allah has placed care around your life in ways you do not always recognize in the moment. Protection does not always look like rescue from disaster. Often it looks like prevention from harm before it ever reaches you. What does this mean for us? It means Allah's protection is far closer than we think, especially in homes where there is at least a little Qur'an, a little prayer, a little sincerity, a little effort to keep the space clean from what displeases Him. A home does not need to be perfect to be protected. It only needs to be honest. It only needs to be trying. And when that effort exists, angels, by Allah's permission, become part of the unseen safety surrounding your life. They do not act on their own. They do not choose independently. They move only by His command. And through them, Allah shields you from things you did not even realize were on their way to you. There is another sign many believers experience regularly, yet rarely pause to reflect on its meaning. A space where prayer is performed with sincerity. It may be a quiet voluntary prayer, a short night prayer, a few units prayed when no one else is watching, a moment between you and Allah that feels almost unremarkable on the outside, yet carries immense weight in the unseen. The Prophet, peace be upon him, taught that angels stand alongside the believer during prayer and respond with Āmīn to their supplications. This is not tied to a grand mosque or a public gathering. It applies to any place where a heart truly turns toward Allah. Wherever sincere prayer arises, that space becomes honored by their presence. And sincerity does not mean perfection. It does not require flawless focus, a long recitation, or overwhelming emotion. Sincerity simply means the heart is genuinely facing Allah, even if the prayer is brief, even if the words are simple, even if the soul feels tired. Many people assume only dramatic worship draws divine attention, but often it is the quiet acts that carry the most unseen weight. 2 short units before sleep, a whisper of prayer after a difficult day, a moment of standing when the world finally goes quiet. These are the prayers that reshape a space without anyone noticing. And when prayer like this becomes part of a home, something subtle begins to change. That space no longer feels like only walls and furniture. It becomes somewhere the heart finds balance again, somewhere the mind feels steadier, somewhere awareness of Allah quietly returns. And the effect of this does not end when the prayer ends. Decisions begin to feel clearer, hardships feel less suffocating, the day moves forward with a sense that you are not facing it alone. Wherever sincere prayer settles, Allah sends support, and part of that support, by His command, is the unseen presence of angels accompanying the believer through what follows. There is a kind of protection Allah gives that many people don't immediately recognize. A sin you once fell into easily suddenly feels heavier before you even reach for it. You open your phone to do something you know you shouldn't, and something inside you hesitates. A conversation begins to drift toward the wrong direction, and your chest tightens before the words even leave your mouth. An old habit calls you back, but it no longer feels as effortless as it once did. This internal resistance does not come from you alone. It is taught that angels encourage what is good and restrain against what is harmful, while negative whispers push a person towards sin. So when wrongdoing starts to feel harder to step into, it is a sign that Allah is placing protection around your choices through the unseen. Most people misread this shift. They think they are simply changing on their own. They assume they are getting older, losing interest, or growing tired of certain behaviors. But spiritual protection often begins quietly. The heart tightens earlier, the warning comes sooner, the guilt appears before the fall. The desire weakens without a clear explanation, and when this happens repeatedly, it is not accidental. It is a sign that your inner space is no longer unguarded. Temptation loses some of its grip. Certain paths feel blocked without force. You step back from what once pulled you forward. This is not perfection. It is mercy. It means Allah is guiding you away from harm before harm even reaches you. It means your heart is being protected in ways you cannot fully see. When a person experiences this kind of shift, it is one of the quiet signs that the unseen around them is helping them, not abandoning them. There are moments when life feels tight, yet certain things begin to move with an ease you didn't plan for. Not large dramatic miracles, but small smooth turns that don't match the weight of your situation. A task you expected to drain you finishes without resistance. A day you prepared to survive ends up feeling lighter than expected. A conversation you feared unfolds with calm. Your provisions seem limited, yet somehow they stretch further than logic allows. This kind of ease is not random. It is said that when angels are present, tranquility and mercy accompany the space around them. But it is important to remember something clearly. Angels do not act on their own. Every form of protection, every opening of ease, every trace of blessing only happens by the permission of Allah. They carry out what they are commanded, nothing more and nothing less. And mercy often arrives as blessing hidden inside ordinary life. It does not remove every problem. It places strength inside the struggle. It gives clarity in confusion, patience in pressure, and support at the exact moment you thought you would collapse. Most people overlook these moments because they are subtle. They expect blessing to arrive loudly. But spiritually, this quiet ease is one of the clearest signs that your life is not being left unattended. Blessing does not announce itself. It simply makes what is heavy feel lighter, and what is chaotic feel manageable. When ease appears in your routine despite the pressure, despite limited resources, despite emotional weight, it is a sign that Allah's mercy is moving through your life in ways only He fully knows. There is a subtle shift that happens when a person slowly begins removing things from their life that tug the heart in the wrong direction. Not in a loud or instant way, and not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because the atmosphere stops carrying the weight it once did. Sometimes it starts with something small, deleting certain content, letting go of a habit that kept feeding the ego, stepping back from something that always left you feeling farther from Allah. These changes are often done quietly, no announcements, no explanations, just a gentle choosing of what brings light over what drains it. And even though the action seems simple, the difference they create is real in ways you may not immediately understand. Your thoughts feel clearer, the heaviness of guilt begins to loosen, the heart becomes softer toward what is good, the excuses that once kept you stuck begin to lose their grip. This is not spiritual magic, this is mercy becoming easier to receive. We learn from authentic teachings that certain things prevent angels from entering a home, such as images of animate beings and dongs. What this teaches us at a deeper level is simple. Anything that increases distance from Allah makes the environment heavier for the soul, and anything removed for His sake opens the door for calm and light. But even here, the truth remains firm. Angels do not move independently. Any peace, ease, or protection that follows these changes comes only by the permission of Allah. He is the one who sends them as part of His mercy. When harmful influences leave your life, Allah replaces them with tranquility. When you close a door to what He dislikes, He opens a quieter door to something better. A space that tries to remain sincere for Allah is a space Allah does not leave empty.